It's the 12th day of December and the countdown to Christmas is officially on. As we welcome the season wrapped in peace, love and joy, let our hearts be merry, knowing that hope has come. You have just opened the pages of Jamaica Magazine. I'm Katie Knight, and today we celebrate how blessed and unique our Jamaican experience truly are. It all unfolds in the features we have lined up just for you. Stay with us. We'll be right back after the news.
Good day, I'm Twyla Whelan and this is your WatchJIS News for Friday, December 12, 2025. The government is implementing an emergency electrification project in the parishes hardest hit by Hurricane Melissa to ensure households are ready for reconnection to the JPS power grid. Energy Minister Darrell Vaz made the announcement during Wednesday's post-cabinet press briefing. The National Energy Poverty Reduction Project, which was originally designed to assist vulnerable households with wiring and electrification, has been repurposed to undertake the work. A portion of the previously allocated $1 billion for that project will be redirected to assist hurricane-affected families and communities. Inspections and house wirings, where necessary, will be implemented by the Jamaica Social Investment Fund (JSIF) from December 20, 2025 to March 31, 2026.
Focuses on restoring safe electrical access, repairing homes, providing house wiring for regularization, and supporting GER recertification and offering small solar solutions to vulnerable groups. It is expected to benefit thousands of households across 7 parishes and 14 priority zones. We anticipate a total cost of $1.479 billion, leaving a funding gap of $479 million.
The Ministry of Labour and Social Security is reporting that the post-disaster fieldwork has surged, with 40,144 household damage assessments completed as of December 9. Portfolio Minister Pernell Charles Jr. says this pace far exceeds the 19,000 assessments made in 6 to 8 months after Hurricane Beryl, with the Melissa response achieving double that figure in just 1 month. The assessments form the foundation upon which government will build its various interventions to benefit affected households. To meet the demand, the ministry has 544 assessors, with requests submitted to further boost staffing.
We have 60 JDF service corps that are assisting 17 JDF officers that are in the west, and we have 30 more from the service corps that should be coming on. We have also 30 additional assessors funded through the World Food Program that are being formally onboarded, and they have begun their operations.
20 ministry officers from Kingston and 13 each from St. Mary and Portland are also doing assessments. They're being supported by liaison officers from Canada and the United States, and the government is in talks to bring in UN volunteers. Minister Charles Jr. gave the update at Wednesday's post-cabinet press briefing, where he reported that with the expanded workforce, the goal was to complete 150,000 damage assessments by the end of December. The National Water Commission (NWC) is reporting that over 83% of its customers have had their service restored since the passage of Hurricane Melissa. Content Creation and Development Manager at the NWC, Andrew Cannon, says the Commission is working overtime to restore service to all its customers for the Christmas season. Mr. Cannon says restoration efforts are hampered by inconsistent or lack of electricity supply to its network, and the NWC is in constant dialogue with the Jamaica Public Service Company to have the matter improved. Another challenge cited is broken mains in the network caused by the storm. With the commissioning of 12 new trucks recently, he says the NWC will begin the trucking of water to impacted communities. There has been a reduction in suspected and confirmed cases of leptospirosis and related deaths following an outbreak in the wake of Hurricane Melissa. The pronouncement was made during a virtual press briefing at the Ministry of Health yesterday. Portfolio Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton says the work being done in the field by the ministry's teams, along with other agencies involved in cleanup activities, is paying off, and the development is encouraging but not a reason to be complacent.
There seems to have been a peak in mid-November at the week ending November 15th, which means that we are seeing a tapering off or a decreasing rate of suspected or confirmed cases, and certainly deaths. It is, however, not a reason to be complacent. Remember now, leptospirosis is preventable, treatable, and survivable, and if detected early, action must be taken. The advisory continues to be to wear protective gear during cleanup, avoid floodwaters, secure food and water supplies, and keep the environment clean.
The Health Ministry is also reporting that dengue and influenza cases remain below the threshold and normal numbers for this time of year. This, Dr. Tufton says, can largely be attributed to the investments government has made in its vector control program. Since the hurricane, more than 75% of high-risk communities have been visited and treated island-wide.
The focus for December through January is to intensify interventions with the goal of reducing the BRITU index in all high-risk communities to below 25, minimizing the risk of mosquito-borne disease transmission.
For water safety, the ministry has distributed approximately 2.6 million chlorine tablets to the regional health authorities, and they are actively distributing these in the most affected areas. In other news, the latest sign of the nation's rebound from Hurricane Melissa and a vote of confidence in its tourism resilience came last Saturday with the arrival of WatchJIS' new weekly flight from Quebec City, Canada to Montego Bay. The service is part of WatchJIS' winter 2025-2026 schedule and comes after the two-carrier merger that folded Sunwing's network into WestJet. Tourism Minister Edmund Bartlett has hailed the commercial milestone as more than a lift in air service. He says the Quebec City route strengthens Jamaica's bid to attract 600,000 Canadian visitors annually and to generate about $750 million in tourism earnings by 2030. Mayor of Montego Bay Councillor Richard Vernon thanked WestJet for selecting Jamaica and pledged that Montego Bay would maintain a safe, seamless, high-quality tourism product as the city heads into the December 15th start of the winter season. Meanwhile, Minister of Tourism Edmund Bartlett has been appointed chair of a new high-level Caribbean tourism organization CTO committee. This committee is to craft a regional strategy to manage the supply side of tourism and retain a larger share of earnings within Caribbean economies. It will focus on deepening linkages between tourism and sectors such as agriculture, manufacturing, and the creative industries so that more value is created and kept in Caribbean communities. Minister Bartlett stresses that if more tourism dollars stay in the Caribbean, this will build businesses, create quality jobs for people, and strengthen the resilience of our economies. Following the devastation caused by Hurricane Melissa, Cabinet has issued a directive cancelling Christmas parties across government entities this year. Information Minister Dr. Dana Morris-Dixon gave the update at Wednesday's post-cabinet press briefing at Jamaica House.
We have agreed to allow small in-ministry or in-department recognition and morale building activities. So if you're doing something in the office itself, that is fine, but no rental of external venues is allowed. We would love to see many of our ministries, departments, and agencies continuing the work that many are doing in terms of doing outreach in the affected areas.
Private sector entities, however, are being urged to go forward with their Christmas plans.
We've had reports of many hotels saying that, they're seeing cancellations from private sector entities. We really do need to kind of make up for what is happening in the West in terms of the downturn in economic activity. So those of us in areas that haven't been affected as much, please go out, spend money. The economy needs it.
And finally, approximately 32 wards of the state at the Mount Olivet Home for Boys in Walderston, Manchester, recently received care packages, courtesy of the Jamaica Information Service and other sponsors. The presentation formed part of the home's annual Christmas treat and award ceremony organized by the JIS. The care packages included personal care items, clothing, footwear, and gifts for the holiday. Among those partnering with the JIS were the Dr. Sue and You Charitable Foundation, Crocs Jamaica, Off the Grid Foundation, Joseph's, and Johan Blake's Why Be Afraid Foundation. Director of the home, Sophia Morgan, thanked the team for the consistent support, noting that the gifts were important and helpful.
Everything that we have received here has utility, meaning that it benefits all of us. And so on behalf of the Mount Olivet Boys Home team, just want to say thank you to our sponsors.
And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Twyla Whelan. Thanks for watching.
Are you living on or in possession of family land? Do you want to sell or subdivide the property? Use eLand Jamaica to search for details on the property. You can complete a title search and verify the owner before you sell the property. If your name does not appear on the title, register the land or clarify the existing title in your name before you sell. A title is a notice to the world of your ownership of land. For more information, contact the National Land Agency at 876-750-5263 or 876-946-5263. The National Land Agency, one agency, one goal to serve you better.
Football season just got underway this week after a lengthy delay caused by Hurricane Melissa. It's a welcomed resumption as the sport brings joy to many. For those who play football professionally, one thing is certain: it takes real skill and determination to excel in the game. Our next feature shows just that. Following the journey of one of our own players whose story began in Harborview. Take a look.
The Order of Distinction in the rank of officer has been conferred upon Mr. Ricardo Gardner in recognition of his outstanding contribution to sports, particularly football.
Ricardo Gardner began his professional career at the age of 14 with Harborview Football Club in Jamaica's National Premier League. He rose to international prominence during Jamaica's qualification campaign for the 1998 FIFA World Cup. He assisted on Jamaica's first ever World Cup goal.
From the football field in Harborview to the world-class pitches of England's Premier League, Ricardo Gardner's journey, marked by raw talent, discipline, and quiet determination, perfectly mirrors the enduring spirit of Jamaican football.
So it would have been back then in about 91 when the then under 14 team was in preparation, and I would have asked his brother Roger Bancroft, we call him Jupsy, to ask Ricardo, who would probably have exhibited some footballing skills whenever I visited his house. What impressed me then was his athleticism, something which is an essential ingredient in playing.
Oh, he was an outstanding young player. He was very fast, first of all, and had complete control of the ball, ready control of the ball. At any pace, you look for that. So he was always very impressive as a player, even at that early age.
Very easy to coach, very easy to communicate with, and very good with his teammates to get along with at the same time. And I think his spirit, what he brought to the team, he brought a level of togetherness that enabled all of the teams that he played on as a youth to be champions.
As Harborview rose through the ranks, Bibi became their heartbeat.
Bibi came to the national program somewhere, I think in 95, coming out of Wolmer's and Harborview. I think he was 16, 17 at that time. And Seymour spotted him, liked the talent, and brought him in. And he then became a regular member of the squad. Played a lot of games for the Reggae Boys during the campaign. Was the youngest player in the squad. It did not faze him. You could see his confidence, regardless of his age, that he was up to the challenge. Enormously talented youngster.
Lead down the left side for Ricardo Gardner. He's got Whitmore and Hall coming down the middle, looking in front. Oh, just off stride for Theodore Whitmore. This is a dangerous Jamaican team.
Bibi was silky smooth down the left flank. He played left back for us for the national program. That was his main position.
His ability to cross, his ability to dribble at speed, his ability well, over time he would have acquired a shot in his foot. So he would have scored a couple goals.
So when we qualified for the World Cup in France, and our first game was against Croatia. And I think it was that game that, I know he was being scouted, but I think in that game was when he cemented himself as quality, not to be ignored, and that could play in the English Premier League.
Well, this guy is 19 years old. Bibby Gardner, they call him because he served the baby.
So in 2012, we were going to the Caribbean Cup, and Coach Whitmore invited Bibby to rejoin the squad because he thought Bibby's experience and knowledge and know-how would have strengthened the unit going into Antigua for that Caribbean Cup. So we brought him in to strengthen that, and his impact on the players was incredible, his cooperation with the coaching staff. And then he and Theodore would have had a working relationship and a player relationship because both were legends of the 98 team.
From the sunshine of Jamaica to the chill of England, our virtual journey links us with the baller himself, Ricardo "Bibby" Gardner. For Bibby, the game was not about fame. It was about family, pride, and wearing the Jamaican colors with honor.
It was an honor for me, to be honest with you. Always representing your country, it's an honor. We wear the shirt with pride. We meet lifetime friends. It's a dream come true for any youngster growing up. To always representing the country, you know what I mean? And we had a great time together, creating history for not only Jamaica, but the Caribbean, first English country to ever qualify for the World Cup. So being a part of that was amazing. My most memorable moment is playing against Argentina.
She's bet on. That's a lovely ball. Ortega scores a beautiful goal. Quality all through. Through ball, and it was first time here or nothing, and it proved to be everything.
Growing up, I was a massive fan of Diego Maradona, and I grew up watching Argentina always in the World Cup. You know what I mean? So to be there playing against Argentina, representing your country, wearing the Jamaican colors on the biggest stage of football, that was quite an amazing moment and memorable moment for me in my career and journey.
From the lanes of Harbour View to the lights of Lyon, Ricardo "Bibby" Gardner carried Jamaica's hopes on his back and showed the world what true Jamaican excellence looks like.
Up next, we're cooking up a pot of history and heritage as we explore the rich cultural significance of our beloved dish of Jamaican oxtail.
Jamaicans are known for taking a single ingredient and elevating it to delicacy standards, just like we did with oxtail. And today, as the pot simmers and the gravy thickens, we're tasting history with every bite. For generations, Jamaicans have been indulging in this delicacy. The name says ox, but the truth? That tail could come from just about any cattle animal. We all know it and love it, but do we know where it's from?
What I say? British. Like, it's a British cuisine.
We don't really know where oxtail come from, but wherever it come from, a Jamaica #1 dish. Especially with the gungo and rice and peas.
We turn now to the Jamaica Cultural Development Commission for the history on this flavorful meat.
The history of oxtail would drag us right back to the transatlantic slave trade when the slaves were coming to the Caribbean, and on the plantation they would have been given the less desirable cut of meat, the offal, the tripe, the tail, because the oxtail, for example, it takes a long time to cook. So because the slaves are such resilient persons, they would take the oxtail and, from the African and the Maroon heritage, they do a lot of stews. And why stew? When you have a big family, when you don't have choice cuts of meat, then you have to devise ways to ensure that all family members can eat and taste something that's delectable. So in Jamaica, we do that with stew, and it's cooked down nicely and served with broad beans in there. The slave masters, the owners, when they would have tasted a little bit of the bold flavor, they realized, you know, what they were missing and not having oxtail.
Once considered scraps, oxtail is now one of Jamaica's most prized meats, thanks to our ancestors' resourcefulness and culinary skills. Beyond its bold flavor, oxtail is packed with nutrients, rich in protein, B vitamins for energy, iron for healthy blood, zinc for immunity, collagen for joints and skin, and phosphorus for strong, healthy bones.
So the tail is cut in rounds, all right? When you do cut them in rounds, you have to trim because oxtail have a lot of fat. So we trim the fat and then we're gonna wash. We wash the meat and we ensure that we don't have a lot of water in there. Back then, the slaves didn't know anything about browning that we have now. So they would get some brown sugar and they would caramelize that in the pot. So we are going to do that today. And then you're going to put your oxtail in. You're going to stir to coat all sections with the burnt sugar that we have done. So we add the hot water. Slow cooking, and when it's nice and tender, then we are going to be adding, you know, the rest of the onions, the garlic, the peppers, the scotch bonnet peppers. We're going to add that to the pot, and then when it's almost done, maybe 5 minutes, we're going to add our broad beans. If we use a can broad beans, but if you were going to be using the dried beans, as the Africans would, you would cook those beans first. Then we incorporate both, so we have the beans mopping up some of that lovely gravy. So we want to ensure that we pass the legacy on so persons will understand where we are coming from to where we are and be grateful for what we have now.
Oxtail isn't just a dish. It's a story of struggle, survival, and innovation. And every time we slow cook it to perfection, season it with our bold herbs, we're not just enjoying a meal, we're tasting our history and our heritage.
Next, we all have those childhood memories that instantly take us back. A smell, a song, a favorite food. Our upcoming feature celebrates those uniquely Jamaican moments that shaped us growing up, and it just might stir up a few memories of your own.
Remember the days when people from the east side could go out on the west side and live in peace.
I was born and raised in a little district called Tangle River in St. James. So proud of Tangle River. The beauty about my halcyon days of the 70s is that I was exposed to so many different things that were creative. So we would use certain things that people would normally call trash, and we used that to be creative in such a way that we made gigs, boxes, trucks out of boxes, catapult, hopscotch. We would be creative in using perhaps the rotten banana trunk, and we call them tar. And we used to use the tar to play hopscotch. We used to go to the bush, we go get whist, and we make skipping rope from that, or we use perhaps the elastic band from the inner cork or the buckle stopper, we used to call them, from the aerated water, we used to call them aerated water, but they were just bottled juice sodas. At that time, we never had inside kitchen. We were the outside kitchen that was made out of bamboo, wattle and daub. I hear I want to come see all of that. And each kitchen had a dresser. The dresser where we wash, we put in pan and we plate, we enamel plate, we knife, we fork, we cups, and we put it on the dresser. And there was a fireside. And so on that fireside is where, you know, the older folk would just put on the pot and you blow the fire. Sometimes smoke on your eyes until you're weak. No wonder I wear glasses in my older years. And then there were times when in that same kitchen, we used to smoke corn, the pig tripe, and put it on the kreng and smoke it. But then we used to, as children, used to hide and use knife and cut off a piece and eat it. There were beautiful days. By 5 o'clock you have a beard and you have a rub Vaseline for your foot. The Vaseline them time, they don't like Vaseline today. You rub it for your foot. They shine like young gold. It was a wonder. You could actually look on your skin and you think it was a looking glass. During the holidays, when you don't go on a river, go and swim, we go on a bush, go and look guava, saucy apple. Saucy apple is what we call Otahiti apple back in St. James. Well, in my district, saucy apple, we go look mango, we go look banana, you name it, cane. So in the evenings when dinner ready now, and them said dinner ready, your belly full. And when we look into that, it was so many different items that we needed. Perhaps I'm getting a little teary-eyed because those were precious moments and I value those moments. And I think those were the moments that made me into who I am today. There's one thing that I'd like to see happen in this great nation, or this great enterprise called Jamaica, is where we can come to a place where we are a little bit more loving toward each other. I grew up in a time when community parenting was the order of the day. We shared everything. We respected rules and we respected authority. We had good manners, good morning, excuse me, I'm sorry. Over time, we see that eroding. And I wish that we could come back to that place where we are grateful. We're grateful for the little things in life. We're grateful for the opportunities. We're grateful for even the small things that we have until better comes. I want to see us go back to a place where we can live loving in an environment that is conducive to good morals. I want to see this nation get back to a place where we protect our children, the women of this country, an environment that we can see things from perhaps different perspectives and we still get along, where community parenting will add value to the lives of our nation's children.
This is where we wrap up today's program. I hope you have been informed, inspired, and uplifted. Join us again tomorrow for another engaging edition of Jamaica Magazine right here on this station. If you have missed any part of today's show, you can catch the recap and more stories at jis.gov.jm. I'm Katie Aloy Knight. Thanks for watching, and as always, walk good.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.